What's up, y'all? Hope everyone is doing good out there today. Hope y'all can hear me loud and clear. Thank you for tuning in to the Lethal Truth. I know you could have been anywhere else, but you here with me today on a Sunday. You ain't even in church. Y'all all right. But again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Blessings to everyone. Blessings to everyone here. Here for the knowledge. Logan, Jasmine, me, and John Banks. Peace to everyone today. You know, I got a good one for y'all today. I always do have a good one. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me take my sip. You know, it's water. I was inspired to do this segment today. As you can see, check my shirt out. I got for Father's Day for my children. I think about like 2 years ago with all their names on it. Yo, this is a blessing for Father's Day, right? This is a cool shirt. Instead of the Black Panthers, the Black Father. So I decided to wear this today because I see what's going on in the media with 50 cents, 50 Cent, his son. Hold up. Yeah, Peace Boy said, yeah, the snow is crazy out there. Hey, everybody's home. You know what I'm saying? I'm home, of course. So I decided to do this segment today because actually, you know what I'm saying, it's a lot of talk with Supreme and his father. Let me fix this a little bit more. Talks with Supreme and his father, 50 Cent and his son. You know, everybody, we spoke about it. We spoke about what Supreme's son said. We spoke about what 50 Son said, laughing at Supreme's son and everything, But I think it's much more deeper than what's going on that I see. I see something much deeper than these individuals who are in the streets or who pretend to be in the street or who was once in the streets that's beefing online, dealing with big meat situation, how it just spiraled out of control and it caused a chain reaction. Um, what I seen initially is two grown men, 50 and Preem, um, was going at it. Well, they were going at it. I don't think they're going at it now. I don't think Supreme have too much to say to 50 Cent right now because I don't think 50 Cent has anything really to say to Preem because Preem is just a loss of oxygen right now, as far as concerning him, meaning that you're in prison for life. You ain't doing nothing with your life. You ain't doing nothing extra and that extra and special, as far as he is concerned. I'm not saying the brother ain't doing nothing positive, like because he could be educating people from behind the wall where he at in society, like uh, Stanley Tookie Williams. You know what I'm saying? So I won't say that, but in 50's, he's looking at it like, yo, you just sucking up all the air. You here for no reason. Why are you still alive? You're in jail forever. You're not doing nothing with your life. So he's not gonna be for Preem. You know what I'm saying? It's like a waste of time for him. Um, our children, our children react off of our absence as fathers. And that's what I saw in this whole thing. I saw Preem's son trying to defend his dad and trying to make his dad proud of him. You know what I'm saying? Because when Preem went to jail, Preem, and I read his interview in Don Diva years ago, he was saying in his words, not mine, that, what's up, Monica? Good afternoon. He was saying that he never wanted children because of the life he lived. Because when you're doing something in the street, you got people that living like you or living worse than you. So he didn't want nobody to kidnap his family and have him for ransom and torture and kill him. So he didn't want that be that part. He didn't want that part of his life in the game. So happening while he went to prison, Preem found out through the grapevine that he had a son. He didn't know. The female decided to have the child without his knowledge because she knew how he was moving. That's why the son name is Cal Robinson or Robeson, I believe. It's not Supreme McGriff. He's calling himself Little Supreme McGriff because he love his dad. He wanna make his dad proud. He don't know his dad. So when Supreme came home and he found out that he was alive, of course it's too late. He gotta accept him for what he is. You know what I'm saying? Which is his son. So he reached out to him. You know what I mean? But Preem didn't stay in the streets long. Maybe because maybe he didn't have a close, tight, knit family. Maybe his father wasn't there, and maybe it was a chain reaction. I don't know. I don't know his life story when it comes to parenting, but we all have a choice in life. You know what I'm saying? And when he came home, he had the decision to make himself, like he gave his son online. Is either you gonna choose the game or you gonna choose me, Dad? Supreme took it upon himself with the so-called knowledge of self that he had to choose the game. And in the process of that, people got killed, people that he felt was close to him passed away due to violence, while his son was out there still trying to reach out and get to know his dad. I'm not saying that he abandoned his son while he was on the streets. He took the steps to be in his life, but the choices that he made wasn't more important than his son. And I brought this. I'm saying it like this because I'm a I'm an example of this as well. You know what I'm saying? Because we talking the truth, right? All right. So me learning that I had a son. I already knew I was having a child, but I still decided to run the streets. I was 16. I ain't know no better. Cool. You know what I'm saying? But I came home and I knew better. I knew better to the point where I started running the streets. I had a job and I put myself in GED school, which was surprising because I did not like going to school. But I'm like, damn, I got this little boy, I got this little guy I got to take care of. And I had a father in my life, so I knew what to do. Some men don't, and they got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But we'll get to all that. So I had to make a decision, and I made it. And I was taking care of him, but I got caught up with old friends. Then I got caught up in the street beef that really had nothing to do with me. But I had a decision to make. I could have went into hiding, but I had my ego on my sleeve, and I made a choice. And I left my 2-year-old son and went and did 16 years and came home to damn near a grown man. Now it's kind of hard trying to be a father to someone who's damn near a grown man because you're not there in his life to raise him. I want y'all out there that have children that's running the streets to listen to what I'm saying. When you come home, you can't even really be a father. You got to be damn near a friend. Because how you going to dictate to this little man what to do? You ain't been there and it's like, dope, he may love you, but you ain't there. You're not there. So he's finding out ways to be a man himself. And I think that's the situation that happened with Preem. You know what I'm saying? He made the decision, and then all the knowledge of self he had, or so-called knowledge of self he had, it wasn't that much powerful. You know what I'm saying? Just because you got knowledge of self doesn't mean you resurrected. Just because you have knowledge of self doesn't mean you really have knowledge of self. You just know what the hell you read on paper. Because you had a lot of brothers back in them 80s that was in the nation of gods on earth that had knowledge of self, but they was running the crack era all throughout New York City. A-Team, Supreme Team, all these were 5%ers that knew how to save their people, but yet they was killing our people. So just because Supreme got knowledge of self, that doesn't mean he know how to be a father. So here it is. Now he's in jail. Everybody's talking about his father, Little Supreme. He to the point he took up the name of Little Supreme. Your name is Cal. But he hear about his father so much. His father never been in his life. He goes to school. He see children with their fathers. My daughters asked their mother that one day. They say, where daddy? I was locked up. Where daddy at? Yo, everybody out here with their mother and father, they going to these plays and they on stage and other their classmates see their parents in the auditorium. Where my mommy and daddy? Where my daddy? We run the streets and we don't think about this shit. But they think about it. They going through it. They think about it because they see it every day of their lives. All their friends got their fathers. Where you at? Where we at? We got to be better than this. Fuck all that beef and troll shit with fit in them. That's why I decided to do this because this was real serious. I saw two kids that was reaching out for help for their fathers, attention. Fuck all that big meat and all that other shit. These kids was reaching out for their fathers without even telling them. So Supreme Son decided, yo, man, everybody talking about my father. I want to be like my dad. They giving me the honor like my dad. I'm hearing so great stories to the point he probably even hearing great stories from his mother. Like, damn, I can't wait for this dude to come home. Yo, he's official like that. Yo, he in the magazine. They talking about my father. Then you got all these rappers talking about him. He feel good. Yo, this is my pops. Okay, my pops ain't had time to take care of me. He was in jail, but wait till he come home. Now Supreme home, he all up under his father. But Supreme not teaching him how to be a son. He's teaching him how to be himself. He's teaching him how to be Supreme. And that's the mistake I made. Instead of really schooling my son, I was trying to teach my son how to escape the avenues of the street. Like now I created a goddamn beats because I thought I was saving him. I was 34 at the time. I'm 49 now. I learned a lot more because we don't get a pamphlet or a booklet on how to be a father. We got to figure this out as we go along. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to continue to make mistakes even when we die. I mean, by the time we die, because it doesn't come with a pamphlet. You know what I'm saying? So Supreme Son, he's reaching out. He's trying to protect his dad, protect his name and everything. So he got caught up in a Rick Ross situation and he figured that maybe if I come at 50 like this, you know what I'm saying? Since all these dudes is in my dad's circle, you know what I'm saying? They gonna look at me and give me my props. Instead, his father crucified them, which was the wrong goddamn thing to do. I don't care what my son would have said online. You go behind closed doors and you call your son. You don't share that shit to the world. You embarrass your son to the whole entire world. Meanwhile, he was trying to defend you. I get it. I get it. You probably want to teach him a lesson, but not like that. You do that when you do it like that in the open, you do that amongst family, not through the whole goddamn world. But yet you say you ain't with the internet, but yet you call up the phone that said deliver a message to your first and only son and shoot him down before the world. But yet you ain't trolling. You don't do internet. Could have fooled me. Could have fooled me. I would never did that to my son. I don't care how much my son don't speak to me or we mad at each other or what. I'm not disrespecting my son before the world. I don't care. Because as far as I'm concerned, there's no disrespect. Ain't nobody out there more important than my son. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna try to impress nobody. I'm gonna tell my son, yo, listen, stay away from that internet, and I'm gonna school him. Now, if he take the initiative to go out there before everybody and apologize, since he went online and said what he said, then I respect my son as a man because he stepped up and took accountability for his actions. I'm not gonna whip his butt at front of everybody. It's not being a father. But maybe he don't know. Maybe, like I said, maybe he had his own reasons for doing what he was doing. But I don't think that's right as a father. So since he's out of his father's life, this is how he's running around. He's trying to figure it out. 50 Cent son too. His son can say whatever he want about his father. But every time I turn around, he's online talking about his dad. When last time you heard 50 Cent's son talk about his own mama online? He's reaching for his father's attention. But I don't know. Sometimes I think sometimes these children just be wanting us to beg for their attention. You know what I'm saying? But 50 had a decision to make too. He had a choice. He said it himself. He said, I was making all this money and I was going on tour, making a whole lot of money. But I wasn't around my son like that or my son's mother because I was always out. He's going on tour. He probably came home like probably twice out of the whole year. Meanwhile, she got needs. You know what I'm saying? So she beefing with him. Yo, you got to come see your son. Every now and then you put him in a little video and you go about your business. And Due to that friction amongst him and his baby mother, they separated. Or she started creeping. So he said she started creeping, but I'm gonna just say they separated. So being that she was already upset that he left her the mansion. You can have the mansion, allegedly the house burnt down because she had another dude in there was living with her while 50 was paying the bills. I don't know. Allegedly, that's what they said. He burnt down the house and left a gas can next to I can't, yo, hey, look, I can't knock that one. If I'm paying the bills, don't have no dude up in there. If you want to have dudes up in there, then you start paying the bills. You know what I'm saying? But not to go, of course. So while they separated, 50 said, my success was great because God led me on that path, but it came with a consequence. Because now the baby mother is so bitter, she turned 50's son against him. So it was always, your father ain't doing this and your father ain't doing that. All these children got all these sneakers. I remember 50 got on the radio. He said the some mother said, well, he want 50 pairs of sneakers. No, 100 pairs of sneakers for school. 50 said, what the hell? 100 pairs of sneakers? You remember how he grew up, wasn't it? I was good with like 3 pairs. 100 pairs. What you doing with 100 pairs of sneakers? You only got 2 feet. So she said, well, his friend next door is the son of a famous celebrity NBA player, and the NBA player that. So 50 said, well, tell the NBA player to buy the sneakers. I'm not buying, I might give him 20 pairs. I'm not getting him 100 pairs of sneakers. So, it was always dealing with money issues and stuff like that. So she turned her son against him to the point now he up there talking about, yo, I'm only getting $6,000 a month. I wish I got $6,000 a month. I could do a whole lot with that. Straight up. I know a lot of women that can do with free $6,000 a month. Every month, we hoping that we buy the winning ticket for $1,000 a week. Remember that? No, that little car game. You win $1,000. I'm trying to get that. So much 6,000 a month, but that wasn't good enough for him. So he felt that since he's not entitled to get what he wants, he gonna side with his mother against his father. You know, moms turn babies, moms turn boy babies into boys. And when the dad get a hold of the boys turn them into men. A woman can raise a boy to be a man, but she can't teach him to be a man. Just like we can't teach our daughters how to be a woman. When my daughter go through certain situations in life as a woman, I just give her a little advice, but I don't give her a relationship advice too much because I'm giving her a man advice because that's all I know how to be. I let my wife give her the female advice that she needs because my wife is a female. That's why it's important sometimes, not excuse me. That's why it's important all the time that we grow up in a two-family household because there's boys and there's girls. You see what I'm saying? So we have to fit in. So as a man, you're gonna teach you when you teach our son, excuse me, as an absent father, the child grows up, he doesn't know how to talk to a man directly in his eye. He doesn't know how to stand up and give a man a handshake or a hug. He doesn't know how to sit there and have an intellectual conversation with a man without getting violent because he's dealing with his emotions on his sleeve. He's being passive. He doesn't know how to walk on the outside of the street while a woman walks on the inside because a man haven't taught him how to do that. So he thinks he's walking a bitch, a dog. That's what you do to dogs. You walk them on the side of the street. But he doesn't know that. That's why it's important. That's why it's important. And these two individuals, these two children, they're up there fighting for their daddy's attention. Look at little Meech. Same thing. You see how it all connects? Same thing. His father was going since he was like 1 year old or 2 years old. He came home. This dude's a full grown man. You can't teach him how to be a man because you didn't make man decisions when it concerns your family when you was home. I'm just saying. Sometimes we gotta lick our wounds, we come back and be better, but he made his decision. So Meech is out there trying to figure it out, and he said it in his text to 50. He said, yo, I'm still trying to figure out myself. He's still trying to figure it out. He don't know. You know, it's four truths. Excuse me here for a second. Excuse me. Hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I told you I got something different for you. Tell you every time you come in here, it's a classroom. You know what I'm saying? It's a classroom because I also speak from my experience. What I'm talking today, I'm going through right now. You know what I'm saying? It's a learning lesson. My son, he upset with me. I'm being honest. My son, he don't speak because he's upset. He don't hate me. I know that for a fact. I know he loved me because if he didn't, he still wouldn't be here asking about me through the grapevine that I hear. But I'm a grown man like he a grown man. And as a grown man, you're supposed to pull your father or excuse me, pull your father down if you feel like he violating and say, yo, listen, I don't like the shit you doing. You're a grown man. You're not a child. And this is not a shot to my son. I'm saying this to anybody that's going through something similar, whether it's your daughter. If you are a grown woman or a grown man, you upset with your parents, you come to them as a grown woman and a grown man, you sit them down, you tell them what you disagree with them on or uncomfortable with or what hurts you, that what they did. You don't take it upon yourself, fuck you, I don't want to talk to you ever again. How does I'm me personally, I'm not running behind nobody. I'm not. I mean, I do my reaching out, but after I'm not begging. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think no parent should beg their child to be in their life. For what? You know what I'm saying? I'm not begging nobody. But I love my child. I love my son. I will never disrespect my son in front of nobody. And if a motherfucker feel like he gonna come at my son and I'm there, I'm gonna come at you. You know what I'm saying? That 50 said the same thing, and I respected that. He said, I would never disrespect my son in social media, and he never did. The closest he got to saying something a little funny was the fact that he said, I went to the jewelry store and ran into my son. He was pawning a chain to get two-digit change while I was getting my chain. He said, I didn't say nothing. I just stood there and looked at him. My son got his chain. He turned around and he left. I let him go. It's a grown man. That's the decisions you want to make. It's cool. I didn't completely abandon you. I was there for you. You just don't like what I did. I did. Maybe because he been raised around women all his life. Because most boys, when they raised around women all their life, they deal with their X chromosome. See, a man has a boy, excuse me, a boy and a man. We have an X chromosome and a Y chromosome. A Y chromosome, that's a male chromosome. The X chromosome, that's the female chromosome. This is why you determine the sex of the baby, not the woman. So you have the women inside you. This is why I tell dudes, be careful when you calling dudes bitch ass this and that, because you have that bitch ass inside you too. That's why some of us be doing bitch shit. Yo, I saw a show, what was it? The Oval, and him and this dude Sam, him and his wife is going at it, and he was telling his man, he said, yeah, she's doing. He was like, no, his man said, you know, that's that woman stuff. He said, yeah, well, I'm going to dig deep inside of me and find a bitch too and do something. You know what I'm saying? So when we're not raised around our fathers, we don't tap into the Y and the X chromosome. We mostly also tap into the X chromosome because it's the woman that raises us every day of our life. She doesn't necessarily raise us to be that tough. She raises us to be passive because women are passive. They get real aggressive until they had enough, but they're the most merciful. That's why in Islam you'll hear them say the beneficent, which is the male, and the most merciful, which is the female. God is both because He created both. You know what I'm saying? So when we don't have this man in our life, we get sensitive and we start doing female things. more than we do man things. And if we looking to be a man and want to act like a man, we find it in the streets because it is not at home. Especially if we don't have a big brother who already know how to be a man. He trying to figure out like me or us, you know what I'm saying? So this is one of the reasons why the young boys they run to the streets because the closest thing that comes to a man in their life is out there on the sidewalk. It's not at home with moms, especially we seen her going through it with her man. Shit, we don't want to act like that. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button. So I got four truths. Oh, hold on, one more thing with Little Meech. But yeah, he's trying to figure his own life out. And now that his father home, he felt like Little Supreme. You know what I'm saying? He felt like, yo, I'm making my dad proud now. I'm acting like my dad. I'm really acting like the man I really, really secretly want to be like. So I can really play my dad. And that's what he's doing. To the point he start acting like his father. He walk around on the airport with the BMF chain. Why are you walking around with that for? You never been in that organization. You an actor. But in his mind, I'm like that. He took his whole father's life from off the screen and walked into his father's shoes every day for the rest of his life as acting, or probably before that. To the point he was out there going to the parties and everything with the celebrity women. He was acting like his dad. He was popping the bottles. He was acting like his dad. He calls himself Little Mitch. He's acting like his dad. This is why it's so important for us to be in our son's life. My sons that I have here, biologically, they're not mine. Biologically. But emotionally, spiritually, and physically, and by God's grace, they're mine. I've been in their life since they was 5 and 9 and all of that. They're damn near adults now. I don't call them stepfathers. I don't call them stepchildren. I am not a stepfather. I don't just step into a situation, step back out. That's a stepfather. I am their father. I bust my ass to make sure I get whatever money I can to put food on their backs if I can, or if I can afford it, and food in the kitchen. That's a responsibility for. Stop go out there saying you a step anything. You are a father. That's it. That's what a father is. So when they look at you stepping up to the plate, they're like, yo, that's a real motherfucker, man. That ain't even my father, but look what he doing. My wife said this the other day. She said, yo, sometimes, I don't want to ask you for something because you beef sometimes and say, damn, you got to get this, you got to get that, and you got to get that. She don't understand at what it is as a man. And I explained it to her. I said, it's not that, baby. It's out of frustration because I be wanting to save, I be wanting to do things myself, but I gotta sacrifice. What I gotta do, look good and do what I want and let my children starve? What kind of man is that? What kind of father is that? Fuck that. What kind of husband is that? You know what I'm saying? I could sacrifice. Yeah, I get frustrated. That's human nature. We all get frustrated when we don't get what we want. It's human nature. But I'm not gonna say, yo, fuck that. I'm gonna keep it on the low. Don't let them know I got money. It's not being a father. Now that's being a stepfather. You know what I'm saying? Because you married in a situation, you come half-ass. You keep it in your mind. That's not my child. I'm just married to their mother. Nah, because when something happened at school, they call the emergency phone number. They call you. They can't reach the mother. That's not a step out. They call the father. Some of us don't know what a father is. We learn as we go along. I didn't think of all this stuff. I had to learn as I go along. I grew up with just me and my brother, but my brother is 11 years younger than me. So I didn't grow up in a big household with a big family where I go to the store and I buy one, I got to buy for everybody. I learned that as I go along. So now when I go to the supermarket and I feel like I just want to get me something, I end up buying everybody something. Yeah, because you look real crazy when you come in with something and everybody in the house looking at you and you just slide in there by yourself and you got a big ass rib dinner and everybody eating oodles and noodles. What kind of parent is that? What kind of parent are you if you go into a party but there's no food in the house? How? You got to leave something. That's being a father. That's why I said when you come home from jail, at some point you have to make a decision. You have a choice now. It's your children or the streets. or your man's. That's why I say I don't run the streets no more because I know the sacrifice that I'm going to make and what I'm going to lose. Being home, I can actually tell my daughter, yo, don't deal with that dude. He's a bozo. Let me tell you why. This is what I used to do. But if I'm in jail, she's not sharing that type of story with me. Next thing you know, she running around here. She's for the community. But you not around, so she ain't on point of the game. Ah man, y'all all right out there? Y'all all right to the men, to the fathers? I know the ladies is up there. You talk to them, father. Yeah, talk to the men. Now I have to. I know, ladies. I'm coming to you soon too. But I want to talk to the men first because this is really addressed to the men. Because, like I said, we see what's going on with 50, his son, and Meech and his son, his father, and Preem and his son, and we all laugh about it. Well, not everybody. I'm saying us as a whole. We laugh about it and be like, yo, guess what? Yo, Meech came back at him, yo. Yeah, I'm going to be wrong. It's good entertainment, but you know me, I like to see something deeper in it because I'm like, why y'all all up here? These kids don't have nothing to do with this beef. Why are they up here? That was the number one thing I had to ask myself. And then I figured it out. Attention. They looking for attention. These rappers that been rapping, these dudes wasn't even born yet. When their fathers was running shit, these dudes wasn't even born yet. But how is it that you fit yourself in this equation? You know what I'm saying? It's attention. Now, I'm gonna hold y'all long. I'm not gonna hold y'all long. Now, I got 4 truths of a father abandonment that would wound men. Okay, 4 truths. Number one, to approve one intel, achievements, and statues of the world and have it all together. But deep down, they feel unloved and unworthy. Yeah, you have a lot of children when they're abandoned, they feel like they have to achieve everything that's great because they don't heard that their father from their mother wasn't shit, or he was a deadbeat, or he was this and he was that. So now the child grows up hearing this, and in his mind, he's like, when I grow up, this is the first thing he say. When I grow up and I get my own family, I ain't gonna be like him. I'm gonna be better. So now they gotta have the most expensive, the most talked about job. They got to get the most money. They got to do the most uh 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 unbelievable things for their children. It's like they're trying to prove to everyone that I'm better than my father, but deep down inside, they still feel unloved and unworthy. And this is why they keep going hard because they want to prove to someone in their family all around that I'm not like that motherfucker. I'm not like this dude. I'm better than him. And if they see him, they can't wait to show it off. Yeah, this is what I'm doing because they hurt. They spend most of their life trying to prove it to their parents. Females too are like that. They go through what they go through, just like the men. And when they grow up, they feel they're going to be more protective around their children or to their children, and they're going to be more successful than their mother and a better mother than ever because of the trauma of what they're going through, because of the scars that they have in their heart. We all have some scars from our parents. My father, I'm Trinidadian. For those of you who is West Indian, you know how West Indians um, punish you. My father, he liked to fight. My father doesn't do the American ass whipping. He fights. And so I took that anger to the street. But I always said I'm never gonna do what my father did. I would never put my hand on my children. If I can't get to you like this, then I'm gonna let God and reality get to you. Straight like that. But I know how that felt. Now I don't knock my father. I'm not saying that he's a bad kid. Maybe that's how he was raised. He was born in 55 in Trinidad. Back then, they have a different way of disciplining kids. When I was growing up, matter of fact, when you go to school out there, you get slapped in the face by the teacher. You can't get that out here. So it's a different type of discipline. I used to get my ass whipped a lot in Trinidad. You know what I'm saying? Then you come home and complain about you get your ass whipped again. It's different, you know? Um, So also number two, uh, most times they have multi things going on and always be doing, growing, learning, and leveling up. Because when they're not, they feel like failures. All the bad talk from mama, they feel like failures. All the bad talk from mama, like I said from the previous one, they hear this and they want to be better. It gets like that because what happens is mothers get bitter, and sometimes, and most times, it's the men, us, that make them bitter because of the things that we're doing on the streets or in our sex lives. And they feel like they lost you as a future husband and a father to the family that they always want. And then they get bitter. And then since they can't have you and they know you're going to be a good father, they take it out on the child. Well, they take it out you, but through the child. And as I seen a video from Charleston White, he says, in this day and time, when we deliver our seed to the woman, sometimes or most times they have it in their head that now this is my baby. And they always have that mentality that this is what I'm going to do to my daughter or my son. They don't never say ours, most some of them. So now when you separate, they feel like they have the last say. They don't have to check in with you. They don't have to co-sign nothing because all of a sudden this is my baby. And what happens is, ladies, when you do that and we feel like that we don't have any control or say so, you make us feel like a babysitter. Even the damn teachers has more time with our children than us if we're not in the household because they get to see the child every single day, every single day. I remember I called my daughter's school. So let me see how my daughters is doing in school. Let me see how good they doing. They don't know. I don't need to check in with them. I'm concerned. I'm their father. And I called the school. It's a private school. They had the nerve to tell me, well, they can't give me that information. We'll have to check in with the mother. I said, excuse the fuck out of me? Hey, what? Because I know if it's a medical issue and it deals with some liver or some kidneys, guess what? Ain't nobody got to check in with nobody. She gonna come check in with me like I need your help. So all of a sudden I gotta check in with somebody. I ain't check in when I had her legs in the air. So now I gotta check in, but this is what happens when bitterness get involved. Now you get so frustrated, you probably want to go to court. The court's are siding with the mother. You ain't got, it's just so bad. Now to the point you break out because of the frustration. You have no control. You have no say so. And she runs it in your face, probably. Mine's. I do what I want. I do what I want. I do what I want. I do what I say. I do what I say. And that's it. You feel like, why the fuck am I here? Now you become the bad guy when you break out or start another family to get what you want or be at peace. I don't know. No, every baby mama drama is a different story. So now the mother start putting things in the child head. That nigga ain't shit. He was in here. He had a whole bunch of women. Then her sisters is co-signing it. Now automatically you looking at your father like this scum dog. You grow up, you never see pictures of him or her in the household. You always see the aunts and the cousins and the mama and the grandmama. It's real bad, especially as a boy. You raised around nothing but women in the household. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Now she puts you against your father, like 50. Now him and his son don't have a relationship. But this how you know that he has, I mean, he is a good father because look how he treats his other son. His son went to his show. It was so beautiful. I was so warmed by this. He took his son to his show for the first time because this time he learned. He learned. He didn't choose his son. I mean, he didn't choose his business like he did over his son, like he did last time. He made sure He broke it up. So one day he said, you know what? I felt like I was starting to backtrack a little bit. So I wanted to give my son a clear understanding of what I did. So I put him on the jet. So he said, who plane is this? He said, this is mine. He had no clue who his father is. He said, what do you do for a living? He said, I told you I'm a rapper. He said, you really serious, Dad? He said, yeah. He said, you know Travis Scott? He said, wow. You know Travis Scott, but you don't know me. He's like, oh, I guess he tried to keep him away from what he does. So he said, can I meet Travis Scott? So he said, okay. They had a show, Travis Scott. So 50 took his son. And this is beautiful. Took his son and he told Travis Scott, he had Travis on the phone. So yeah, I ain't telling him I had your number, but I want you to meet him. So he introduced his son to Travis. He said, wow, you really are a rapper. He said, you really said you do what you do. Because now he spent time with his son. And this shows what a good father he is. Because a scum dog father, a deadbeat father, he would never be in none of his children's lives. So is 50 really a bad father and a deadbeat father? No, he made a bad choice. He chose money over his family and he had to pay for it. You know? I guess he made that decision because based on how he grew up, he didn't want to let that opportunity go. We all make our decisions based on our experience. You know what I'm saying? So he's a great father. I go through the same thing. And that gives me encouragement because I take care of children that's not mine. I got grandchildren that's coming. That's biologically, that's not mine, but they're mine. So if anybody can say, yo, this dude wasn't here with his girl, nah, it's his baby mom. Yeah, but look what he's doing to children that's not biologically his. What would that say if those children was in life? But I don't dwell on it. I can just keep doing what I'm doing. And I always hope and pray that they grow up and they be like, yo, I'm coming to see my pops. Because you know why? I took the initiative to be in their life early. It wasn't like I disappeared. That's why I want a lot of you brothers out there, no matter what. I know she may be driving you crazy, but try your best to be in that child's life early before anything happened. Because somebody could say, you was never there. But at least if they're there, trust me, they're gonna remember. I remember when I was 2 years old. I remember little parts, not a lot like I knew of my life, but I can remember little parts. I can remember my dad crying that night because he was trying to find a job and he was complaining to my mother, like, how am I take care of him? I had a little mattress on the floor. That was my bed. I was living in the living room and they was in a bedroom with my grandmother. Yeah, they was sitting sleeping in the same bedroom with my grandmother, different beds, but they just came from Trinidad. My pops was 19. He didn't know how to take care of me. But I remember. Talk back to me. I remember. That's all it's about. You know, my wife says something because I don't have that experience of, well, now I do, but I don't have that. I never had that experience of raising a child from a baby all the way to an adult. So she gave me some pointers. This is what she said. She said, it's not about the gifts, it's about the presence. Not the presence as gift, your presence, you being there. You may not be there all the time because of your drama, but at least they remember you being there. It's about the presence. And all that little tours you giving them from 1 and 2 and 3 and 5, they ain't gonna remember none of that, but they're gonna remember you. They're gonna remember you. Just like if you're not there, they're gonna remember what the mother said. They're gonna remember what the aunt said. They're gonna remember what the grandmother said, and then they're gonna look at you crazy because they remember. But if you always there, or you always popping up when you can, if she allow it, at least they can say, yeah, you know, my pops, you know, he wasn't there like yours, but I know my pops. I know he was around though. I know who he is now. I don't hate him. It's just some bull crap going on because they know you was taking the initiative to be there. Let me tell you something I'm doing right now. Since my child's mother is refusing me to see my daughter, yeah, I'm saying it online. She's a CEO, so I know she probably screening all my shit. Yeah, some people they bring their job home. Trust me. What I do is I write letters to them. I haven't did it in about a month or two. Been a lot busy. Not saying it's an excuse, but this is what I do. I write letters to them in a composition book. That's what I do. Whatever I think, whatever I feel, whatever I'm going through that day, whatever I'm thinking about them. Yo, I just went to the store and guess what, boy? You won't believe what happened at the store. Because when I'm dead and gone, they're gonna get that book and they're gonna read everything that I had to say. So if they feel like daddy was a deadbeat and daddy wasn't there, damn, but why dad took the time out to write all this shit? Obviously, obviously, he cared about us enough. That's all I'm saying. It's just a trauma that our young children have when we're not there. We got to take some type of initiative. I know courts, trust me, man, courts is full of shit. It don't help. It don't help. It do not help. All it does is cause more problem. The only way your relationship with child and mother is gonna be healthy is if you and the mother or the father come into a common ground and a common understanding. Because the course is like a referee. They don't care if you get along or not. They say your best interest is the child. And they don't want to treat your child sometimes like a prisoner. Go pick your child up for the priest. And I wish I would go pick my child up for some goddamn precinct. Then I just won't be there. That's me. I don't think a black man or a black woman should go pick up their son or daughter at a police station. That's not parenting. That's some prison shit. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all all right out there? I know this is a real touchy subject for some. Real touchy subject. Because this is a touchy subject for me. I was discussing this to my wife because she knows every time I have a discussion when it comes to my biological children, I break down and I cry. Or I stop and I run real fast. Like I walk real fast out the bedroom, but I run to the bathroom because I don't want her to see me at a weak moment. So I love my children. I think about them every single day, all day. Every little thing I see always remind me of them. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. But hey, I don't have that power. So all I could do is pray and do God's work and be there for the children that needs a father in their life. Maybe God want me to be here. Maybe I shouldn't be over there. Maybe if I'm over there, I might be in jail. I might be in jail. So the best bet, God said, you want to be a father so goddamn bad? I got you. I'm gonna give you 4 at one time. I said, hold up, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? I said, goddamn, you gave me 4 at one time. Wait a minute. But I love it. I love it. I love it when they text me and they say through Cash App, yo, you got $15? Hold up. Not that I'm saying that anybody should send me any Cash App. I'd have said that loud because my children be like, oh, word? Because I do it. Sometimes it bothers me because, children always hit you at the last minute. You know what I'm saying? But it feels good to give my child something and have them go to the store. And then I look up at my father, I'm like, I wish you could see me now. I went from running the streets, not listening to you, to doing exactly what you're doing now. So let me move on. Because my wife, she actually said, I think you're gonna break down in this show. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're gonna break down and you're not supposed to. Nah, I thought so too, but I know there's a lot of fathers out there that's going through what I'm going through. I know there's a lot of mothers that's going through what I'm going through because you have some mothers who fathers done took custody. You have some mothers who did something wrong in society or with their life and it's painful and got their children taken from them. You know what I'm saying? Now it's hard to reconnect with their daughters. You see what I'm saying? So this topic is very important. Hold on. Javnet said, man, these children don't verbally ask us no more for money. They will just send requests for cash apps out. Yeah, my daughter is good for that, right? My second daughter, she would just cash app. Boop. And I get it through the cash app and I get it through the emails, and I just be like, oh, here we go. Or my son may ask, but they go to school, so I understand, but it doesn't bother me because Like our parents, we don't show our children the struggle too much. I think we should sometimes. Because my father, he made me think that, money grew on trees because every time I asked, he always provided. Because I'm assuming he didn't want to say no, like he was told no. So he always wanted to make sure I had, and he wanted to make sure I didn't run the streets, which I did anyway. Because of consequences of that was I was always getting to the point that when he told me no, I couldn't accept it. See, I learned now. I can't give my children everything. I give them money if I have it. If I don't have it, no. You know what I'm saying? They gotta accept it sometimes. We don't have it. You know what I'm saying? That's the consequence when we don't show them the struggle because we think that money grow. We make them think that money grow on trees, so they're comfortable to always asking. And there's nothing wrong with that because we don't show them the struggle. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, Jasmine, yeah, they don't even ask no more. I remember growing up, I used to be like, mom, yo, dad, can I get like $10 to go to the store? Now they be like, yo, let me get $10 so I'll go to the store and want to get me some grabber. I'll be like, God damn. I know grabber, of course, tell her, but I'm making an example. All right, let me move on. 3, a deep desire to be seen, but have a hard time asking for help and support. So they usually do it alone. They appear strong on the outside, but crumbling on the inside. That explains 50 Son, Little Meech, and Supreme. The desire to be seen. Dad, I'm here. I'm repping you, Pops. Forgive me. I'm holding you down. A desire to be seen. They don't want to ask for the help that they really want to ask for. So they grab their attention. So they may join gangs. Or like Little Meech, and they take a lot of pictures with celebrities to make them feel good and important. Or to wear a lot of expensive clothes, name brand clothes, and jewelry to stand out to feel accepted. And that works. That works like that too, to a degree. I was a victim of that growing up because I grew up from with a West Indian parents, and they never was into the the Nikes and the Jordans and all of that when it first came out in the 80s. I was going to Buster Browns and getting stuff off the shelves. I ain't like them hard bottom shoes, but that's what my parents was into, or maybe that was all they can afford. I don't know. So when I was able to get the clothes that I want and all the name brand stuff from running the streets, I started to get all the attention. So now I wanted to be seen. Get it? See, that's why a lot of these dudes join the gangs and they put in so much work because they want to be seen, they want to be heard, they want people to praise them because they never got that at home. They never got that at home. They never got the attention at home from their father. So the little girl go find it in another man in the street, and that becomes her daddy. And now you are at home mad at your daughter because she's for the community, but she's getting accepted. She feels important because they making her feel important for all the wrong reasons. That's why parenting is so important. Two parents in a household is very, very important. I know sometimes we can't do it because somebody will get killed, but it's very important. I told my wife, I said, listen, we break up, we might as well stay together because I ain't going nowhere. It ain't just the fact that I love her, but leaving my home, I ain't trying to have no other man walk up in my. Well, that's what Jay-Z said, right? Have another man raise my child? Nah. Damn, I know that shit got to hurt Future to a degree with Sierra. I know that hurt Albie Shaw. Albie Shaw's son calls Puffy daddy. He don't even call Albie Shaw daddy. He don't even call Albie Shaw. That's my pops. You don't call when you ever seen him on this standing next to Albie Shaw. But you got a lot of pictures next to Puff because you know why? It ain't about the gifts, it's about the presence. Puff was there. No matter how much we look at Puff, he was there for his children. His children love him. They love him so much they show up at court every time he have a court date. He's a good father. Sometimes we could be good fathers, and sometimes we could be bad boyfriends. Sometimes we could be bad boyfriends, but when we get married, we become wonderful husbands. Sometimes that's just the world it is. The world it is. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, so so these young brothers, they out there and they running the streets and they trying to get this attention for their father or for the attention that they never had. And even if they never meet their father, they still gonna try to prove it to them. Still gonna always try to think about it. They always gonna try to bring it up. I'm pretty sure my son probably bring up my son. He has children. He has children too. One of them is teenagers. Yeah, yeah. I started early. I started early. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure he feels the same way. Like, yo, I'm not gonna do what my pops did, and I'm glad because my son never did time, so he was there to see his children grow up. I'm happy they even know me. I don't see him as often, but when I do see him, I'll be like, "What's up? You know who it is, right?" They be like, "Yeah, I know who you are." I'm like, "Who am I?" They be like, "Come on, you grandpa, get out of here." Oh, go right, my bad. But I was there. I ain't never just disappeared. So they know me. It's all about the presence. It's all about the presence. You know what I'm saying? I know it's hard as a parent with your child, but sometimes we gotta talk. Father and mother, we gotta talk. Because you keep beefing, we keep beefing, our children gonna see it. When me and my wife we argue, we don't scream at each other. Let me tell you how important energy is. We don't scream at each other. We don't be in there, fuck you, bitch, fuck you, and all. We don't talk like that. We may raise our voices a little bit when we argue, but we never use derogatory names and statements towards one another. And then when we leave the bedroom, our children pick up our energy and they stay out of our way, or they may stay out of my way because I'm a little bit more on the edge. You know what I'm saying? So they say, let me leave him and let him stay out his own way. We shouldn't even let them see that. But sometimes it's good that they see that because they can also see that the parents can make it work. So when they get in their relationship, they can remember my parents fought hard for their relationship. Come on, man, we got to make it work. Let's talk. Let's communicate. Communication is always important. Communication is the key to a family household. I learned that. I didn't learn that until I had my own family. I was raising my family. My mother asleep in the living room, my father be in the bedroom. He be reading the papers, looking at the news, and she be sewing or looking at her stories, and nobody talking. But I knew something was up. I just be like, what's going on with them? But I paid no mind. But they never taught me how to communicate because they never did it. And prison didn't teach me definitely how to communicate. They'd always told me just grab the steel and handle what you had to handle. So my communication skills is, you know what I'm saying, is like crazy. You know what I mean? So I learned as I go along. We're all not perfect. It's all about striving. And then it's all about, again, protecting our children, our family. So if you got your children in there, protect them. You got drama with your baby father, put some things to the side. Ain't about you. You got beef with your baby mama, ain't about you. That's you and her beef. Got nothing to do with them. Get your ass up and make a phone call. Uh, y'all all right out there? Y'all cool? All right, just checking because we speaking the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Walk with me. All right. Number 4. It's the last one. Number 4. They prove to the world that they are enough, perfect, but they do so because the feeling inside was too much to see. So they get the feeling from being better for their dad. So they strive and they want to do better in life to prove that their father that they can be better and not like themselves. Ain't about everybody else. They do it for their father or their mother. Since their mother or father was never around, so they try to be better and they do it for their parents that they will never see. That's why a lot of us, we go through therapy behind this because it caused a chain reaction to the point where it can affect your relationship as a husband or a wife. Why? Because you are accustomed of being a provider of yourself through all your life. I mean, your mother could do but so much, and your father could do but so much if you're in a single parent household. But most times you got to rely on yourself because in a single parent household, you can't do everything. Yo, look, I know how I know how a single parent household look. I remember years ago, my mother and father had an argument, and my mother kicked my father out for 2 weeks. I was sick. I would because I'm accustomed and used to having both parents in the household. I know what it's like to not have both. As long as I knew my parents, I always was raised up in a two-parent household. So when I suddenly had one parent in the household, it felt empty, it felt different, the energy was off, and I didn't like it. Most of everything in our household was gone because it belonged to my father. Things was just not the same. I didn't like it. So if you grew up with not ever having a two parent, it'd be a it'd be a regular thing to you. And if you have another parent coming in the household, it'll be another thing to you. My wife said that, oh man, you about to come home. And now I know as a father figure, and I know how you is, and I got scared because it's different for her. See? And now we getting used to each other as two dominants in a household. Yeah, because she's used to doing everything because the way she was raised, not to get too much of her business, because it ain't about her. And the way I was raised most of my life was in prison. So I pretty much did things myself and I did things to survive. So we become products of our environment. So when you don't have this parent in your household, and you're used to doing everything in your life. When you get into a relationship, you are not accustomed to an us thing. You become accustomed to a me thing. And this your children will see to the point where they ain't even got to come to the father for any suggestions, any okays, or vice versa. It should be both, but they're not accustomed to that. Man, this a good topic. What y'all think? Y'all all right? Y'all got any questions out there want to ask? Got any questions? So the last one, like I said, it also becomes competition, invisible competition. What do I mean? We start to try to compete with the parent that we don't know or no is no longer there in our life by doing all the things that they didn't do. But when we do it 10 times better. And then we let people know. We let people know it's a competition every now and then. We say things like this. I do it like this and I do it better because the way I was raised, the way my mother or my father did it, I don't want to do it like that. So this is how I did it. Like start to compete secretly. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that you're saying I don't want to do it like my parents did, but mostly every time you do something for your children, you bring it up and it's based on the way of your upbringing, you're competing. You're competing. You're competing. And sometimes I catch myself doing that. You know what I'm saying? I always say, oh, let me say, well, let me do this because the way my pops do it, I start competing. I start trying to walk into my father's shoes, which is the wrong thing because the way it worked for my father ain't the way it should work for me. I learned that. I was told that last night, matter of fact. You know what I'm saying? Because the way I was raised, I honor my father. You know what I'm saying? And I try to always mimic my father. And that's my problem. We should never mimic our parents. We should try to strive to be better than our parents. Do things different than our parents. And what works for our parents ain't what work for you. What worked for my parents, they was doing that in the 70s and 80s. I'm in the 2000s. That shit ain't gonna work right now. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta make our own shoes. You know why? Because we all got different shoe sizes. So we can't have the same vision. We can only want the same things: happiness and peace. That's it. Oh, and riches. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, I got anything y'all want to say? I'm about to close out right now. I know I had y'all hostage for a second, you know. But I love this shirt. All my children names is on it. You know what I'm saying? I love it. They got it for me on Father's Day. Yo, I love walking around with this shirt and I got all their names on it. sometimes I walk with it and in female scene, they be like, God damn, you've been busy. I go, hey, and I'm still busy. Yeah, don't let that go over your head. I'm still busy. Yeah, I got 7. I'm working on more. Yep, working on more. Trying to have an army, you know? So, with that being said, I'm going to close out. And I'm gonna say thank you for listening. And thank you for giving me the time to talk to you. I know you could have been again somewhere else doing whatever you can do. And with that being said, God bless you. Have a good Sunday. Spend some time with your family on this day and enjoy the Super Bowl. I'm going to hang out with my mans later on. So y'all take care. Later.